What I love about New Albany is the 4th of July parade.
Sports.
Starbucks. My other home.
Very supportive to my business, and I think businesses in the area kind of all look out for each other.
Everything.
Somehow we're going to make sure everything's working. One way or another. Actually,
You're like, stop talking so I can record
no,
something.
you keep talking. So I started
Oh, I hear you
recording.
now.
Yep. Like I said, trying something new. Hopefully we get a little better video this way.
Okay.
If it blows up, I hope it doesn't, but at least we'll get the audio. I'm worried about the memory on my computer.
Okay.
So let's get started. Irene, you, man, I'm excited. I've known you for a long time. I haven't talked to you in a long time.
Yeah.
But Irene, you will see, she likes to chat, which is great, which is awesome. And I'm like, stop, we gotta hit record at some point here because we're covering some really good stuff in a hurry. So, welcome to the show. Welcome to White Fence Living.
Thank you.
Welcome to Brick House Blue.
Thank you. Excited to be here.
Yeah, and Irene, I've met you through a friend a long time ago, and like the Karen Wellington Foundation is such a big part of who you are, and so it was like immediately, like it was like here's Irene Adams and here's the Karen Wellington Foundation, and so a lot to cover, and I know some of this is all too real. I think everybody has been affected in some way or another. So we'll try and keep it uplifting.
Okay. I
but
get that.
but I also I want to help spread the word.
Thank you.
And I want people to get to know you in your story and then obviously Karen's story. So we've got a lot to get into.
Okay. Wow. It's a few things.
Yeah. So
Well, thank
you tell me where you want to start. I mean, I'd like to start with you. So you live in New Albany. You've lived here for a long time.
Yes.
We could talk about your husband, Ted. We could,
Yes.
who is Irene?
Oh, wow. That's a big question. I guess I really first defined myself as a wife and mother. I mean, that's always kind of just been the base of, what gets me up every day out of bed and makes me happy.
Yeah.
And then I get to layer in great community. We call New Albany home. We can't imagine calling anything else home. We just have, throughout the years, thought about, a second place here. Just nothing resonates the way this place does. So selfishly, we've just been here and we just continue to engage. I think the beauty of living here, one of the things is that something like this, which is a small grassroots foundation, was started in a community very similar to New Albany. And so I see how this fits perfectly with, what happens when life isn't going so great, what happens when you're having a year where you need help.
Yeah.
But you don't know how to ask for help, or you're afraid to ask for help, right?
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
So thank you for having me.
Yeah. No, thank you so much for coming.
Of course.
So yeah, very, very deep New Albany ties, and Nia, who works at Brick House Blue, she's been on an episode. Nia's like, oh my goodness, because I send her everybody that's going to be on, in case she wants to give tours or whatever, and she's like, oh my God, I love Irene. So then she mentioned that she went to school with your daughter, and so how many kids do you have?
We have 3.
Okay.
Yes, they're now 27, 26, and going to be 20. So I'm
27,
going to be out of the
26,
teenage
20.
stage, which is wild to say.
Yeah.
But it's fun because for each stage, as we know, there are just challenges and then there are different opportunities, right? The friendships that you start forming with, you still have the line of parent and child, but they just watch them growing into young adults, and you're so proud of that. My youngest son has actually done a couple of gift deliveries with me.
Nice.
I think in the beginning he was forced because I was driving him somewhere and I had to meet a recipient, and so it was kind of like, you're coming with me. And he got in the car and I remember that after the first delivery and said, Mom, I see why you do what you do. And
I was going to
to
say,
show up for people.
yeah. So what was his reaction to it? What was his thoughts afterwards?
So he helped with a gift delivery, Square One, which is the local spa over here. I'm going to give a shout out to them. They are partners, and they comp everything for the recipient, and then we pay for the recipient's guest.
Wow.
So we do a 50-50 share
That's
with
awesome.
them, and we've been doing that for probably 10 years.
Yeah.
And so they get to choose from that location if they want a spa day as their fun day. And my son showed up. We went to the downtown location, and he read the letter, and you could see his hand. Like all of a sudden, he realized the importance, right, of understanding that this is somebody's mom. So there was a gal who worked at the salon downtown, and he did that gift delivery with me.
Wow. So we're going to have to talk what a gift delivery is.
Oh, yes,
and
of course.
we should, after we do that, we could talk
Yes.
about the gift delivery, and then we could talk about, where those gifts come from,
Yes.
and we can get into the foundation.
Yes.
I'm going to move your microphone a little bit closer.
A little closer?
Yeah, just a little bit closer.
Okay,
Perfect.
how's
Right there's
that?
great.
All right,
Great.
awesome.
Yeah.
So the foundation started 18 years ago, and actually 10 years before that, when my friend Karen was diagnosed, excuse me, at the age of 30 with breast cancer. And it was through a regular self-exam that she felt the lump, and then went to the doctor, did all the things we would all do, and then quickly found out that she had a pretty aggressive kind that was going to come back and come back. So did the surgeries, did the treatments, and again, unfortunately, just kept coming back. So for 10 years, or a quarter of her life, she lived with fighting this disease.
And you said that before we got on. It was one of the things that you realized today, or
today. I just thought about the 10-year period, and it just dawned on me. And then she passed at 40, and I'm like, that's a quarter of her life. Can you imagine a quarter of your entire life?
I can't.
Like by year 2 or 3 or 4, you'd probably be, this is exhausting, right?
Yeah.
But Karen kept showing up, and there's a favorite quote that I have. I don't want to misquote it. I think it's Diane Ackerman, and I heard it this past year. It's something like, when I get to the end of my life, I know that I've lived the length of it. I just really hope that I've lived the width of it.
Wow.
And I love that because Karen lived the entire width of those 10 years.
Yeah.
Because she had to, right?
Yep.
She knew her timeline was different. She didn't know where the end was, but she knew it was coming sooner than most of us know. She joined a band. She bought a shoe shop. She painted. She did all the things. She became soccer mom, baseball mom. She just showed up.
Yeah. Incredible.
And did not want cancer to define her.
Yeah.
So the year that she passed, there were no flowers at her funeral. We sent the 2 families in the chemo chairs on vacation.
That's awesome. Wow.
So that's how it started. And we gave our 4,000th gift of fun this year.
4,000. How did you get to know Karen?
So my husband Ted and her husband Kent grew up together in Worcester, Ohio.
Okay. Yeah.
And then they went to law school together at Ohio State.
Nice.
And Ted and Kent were at an Ohio State game, and after the game, as most boys are hanging out after a few beers looking for food, went over to a TGI Fridays, and here's Karen, the server, and she came over. What do you guys want? And they're making comments.
She's less thrilled about.
Yeah, exactly. God, I had to work today. Yeah, she went to Ohio State herself and was in a sorority there. Yeah.
Wow.
She's from Dayton originally, the Dayton area originally. So she was there taking the order, and when she walked away, Kent turned to my husband Ted and said, "Boys, that's the girl I'm going to marry."
Wow.
He fell in love with her. At first sight.
That's great.
Yeah. She was great. She was really just had a great personality. I just feel honored. I'm one of the 10 chapters, and I'm probably one of the 2 chapter leaders who knew Karen.
Wow.
The others didn't, but they've also dealt with, the same diagnosis, and so they're pretty passionate about doing the work.
Yeah. I try. I've said this before on other episodes. I try not to do a ton of research because I just want to hear it from you and ask questions. And so, so you knew Karen. You had this idea. You started this.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
The husband.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
her
Perfect.
husband, and knew that this would be the path forward, if you will.
Yeah.
Like toward healing. He knew that this was always Karen's dream.
Yep.
She said, when we beat this thing, because I always feel like when I'm in Hilton Head with the kids and I feel normal again. Like I take off my wig and I put on my fishing cap and off we go.
So
you know?
Karen knew that did the foundation start before her passing, or she?
No.
Okay, but
No.
did she had no idea this was going to happen?
No.
Okay.
She had no idea that was going to happen. And, the fact that, like, think about, like, what is your legacy?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. It's kind of like, do we have to know that we're not going to be here a couple years to start thinking about how do we leave the world behind and how do we make it a little better?
Yeah.
Leave it a little better than the way we came in.
It puts things in perspective, right?
Very quickly.
All of a sudden that...
Some days you feel like you're not doing enough, right?
Yeah, no.
It's not a pressure question.
No, I think having that perspective, or at least, you have to think about it. You have to talk about it.
Right. Right.
And, sometimes it takes somebody as special as Karen, right, to have such a huge impact.
Yeah, she did, and she still does, which is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I often, I meet the recipients who are the women who are nominated. So if you know someone, we're very much of a give first mentality. That's what Karen wanted to do. She wanted to give. I actually have a really great, if it's on my phone.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have a really great kind of.
And you said 4,000 recipients.
4,000 gifts of fun we've done,
Wow.
yes. So that includes like the recipient and their family.
That's awesome.
So we're often looking at, when someone's nominated, they receive an email and saying, you've been nominated for a gift of fun by Karen Wellington. And then we want you to fill out this form and give us an indication what you think fun looks like.
Wow.
And we've done hot air balloon rides. We've done belated vacations and honeymoons. We've done, a lot of fun gifts.
Yeah, and so before knowing anything about Karen Wellington Foundation, right, you might think like, okay, somebody's diagnosed with breast cancer. They may need more than they might need, they may need financial support. So I do know that the foundation has a unique perspective on like what a gift is or what they could do for somebody who is diagnosed. So can you kind of touch on that? Like what's different from other foundations maybe?
Sure. So I think there's, and I don't want to misquote what they do, but there's just the Pink Ribbon group that I think is here locally.
Yep.
And they help with things like maybe meals and deliveries. And,
meal trains.
Right. And like maybe house cleaning and things of that nature.
Yeah.
This is about, I would almost call it almost like a mental health, mental well-being kind of an email, because you're kind of going, oh, wait, I'm supposed to be having fun right now? All I can focus on is trying to keep my hair and not getting sick every day. It's like, oh, well, okay, I can look forward to something. Think about how you feel when you have a vacation on the calendar.
Yeah.
It's a month, it's 3 months
You're looking
away.
forward to
it's
it.
2 months away. It's a month away, right? So it just helps with the mindset of there are other people who've gone through what you're going through. We want you to, again, it's on your timeline. Once you've been nominated for a gift, it never expires. You tell us when you want to go.
Okay.
So we've done some delayed trips. We've done some staycations. We've done all kinds of things.
Wow.
So I love the fact that we're very unique in the way we just want to personalize everything for just the recipient.
No, I love it because I would imagine that you have to be flexible, right? You don't know where they are in their treatment or what.
Right.
And I would imagine, early on a diagnosis, like you probably wouldn't be too excited about a vacation or a salon or, so wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
How many people are nominated and how many people are you able to gift?
I would say probably of all the women that are nominated, and this is the aspect also that I have appreciated and I've come to really lean into. I met a woman because I ride Peloton every year. Being a survivor myself, when I met this woman, she does acupuncture, and she was an oncology acupuncturist. So she helps women with side effects from the treatments, the getting sick after getting a lot of radiation and all that, like in your body, right?
Yeah.
So she was helping relieve the symptoms of that. And so she started nominating a lot of her patients. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like, who can we give to?
Yeah.
So she had some incredible nominations. I mean, we sent some women on I sent one woman, she and her daughter went to Seattle and lived on a houseboat for a week.
Oh, how cool is that?
A friend of mine donated out in Seattle. Another gal we sent down, she and her son, we sent down to Florida, and we have a chapter down there.
Yeah.
And so my chapter leader down there, he, who had lost his mom at a very young age to breast cancer, he has his chapter down in Miami. He's got all the hookups with all the hotels. They treat her like a queen. They brought like chocolate-covered strawberries to her room every day. And I'm like, what hotel is this? I've never stayed there. But you know what I'm saying? So it's
That's
just kind of
great.
like the more we know about the recipient, when they're ready to have that moment, you know, we're ready to treat them like the queens that they are, and their family too, because, you know, it affects the whole family.
Oh,
right?
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. How, like, where do the donations, I have so many questions. So like, let's say somebody's nominated. Let's just take somebody kind of like through the life of this. So,
Sure.
So you have a candidate who's nominated. Let's say that they're going to be chosen for a gift. You're going to email them and say, what's your idea of fun? Right. So I'm guessing there's some prying there. Like, okay, just a trip to Johnson's isn't enough, or maybe it is.
Right.
But like, okay, I've always dreamt of, you know, let's say it's skiing in Colorado.
Sure.
What happens from there then?
So the foundation will work with the recipient back and forth. They email quite a bit. We have the gift givers in Cincinnati. So the Cincinnati chapter is the paid chapter.
Okay.
All the other chapter leaders are volunteers.
Okay.
And then I have a volunteer base of individuals who show up.
Yeah.
Some of them are past recipients. Some of them are friends. Some of my kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
A person, it might be you someday.
That's right. That's right.
Who's
I'm
showing
in.
up, right, to show up for others.
Yeah.
It's just that simple of a formula.
Wow. So if I want to give to the foundation, let's say I want to sponsor, like, do I say I want to sponsor a specific recipient, or I want to sponsor a recipient, you tell me who it is and what they want, and I'm going to take care of it?
Well, it's a great question, because we have just kind of like a combination of options. Again, I think when Kent started, it was, like I said, just very much, you know, how am I going to honor my wife's life? How am I going to honor her wishes? How can we help other families going through what I've been going through for 10 years? You know, what do we do?
Yeah.
And so as it's grown and as it's changed through the years, he loves saying, you know, no rules. We just very much want to give first. So
I love it.
it's kind of like you can set up a fund. Like, so for example, if you know somebody who's passed, but you want to honor their life. I met a gentleman, I'll leave him nameless. He was connected to me through, the Intel project out here.
Okay, yeah.
And he called me out. We met for coffee over at the morning ritual right up here.
Nice.
And I started telling him about the foundation. He's like, my mom would have loved this. And I would love to do a fund, so we call it fund in her name.
That's cool.
And I want to give to women who want to go to national parks or want park passes, and I would like to fund those. And so he had a very specific point of view to answer your question.
Yeah.
Where if you're just like you and me and you find out your neighbor or a friend is diagnosed, you go on the website, you nominate them, they receive the gift letter and then the email, and then they can fill out their form and decide when and how they want their gift.
Yeah, I think man, the flexibility is really cool because
Thanks.
Yeah, there's not a lot of foundations like that. I don't think I mean, there's a lot of good causes, right? A lot of good foundations, but I think it is neat to have like unique scenarios like that where this is how it affected me. This is what my mom or wife or sister would have loved.
Right.
Here's how I'm going to pay it forward, and then somebody else gets to enjoy that. I think that's really
I'll tell you
unique.
one of the wildest stories. When you said skiing, you made me think of this story. This is a great story. So there's a gal who's nominated. And again, remember, I say that when something goes wrong in my life, your life, we pretty much know 80 to 90% of the people who are showing up, who are like, how can I help, sending texts, right, support.
Yeah.
We're those strangers. We call ourselves a group of happy strangers and volunteers who want to show up and say, you know what, you didn't ask for this, neither did we, but here we are. And, let's
That's
do
pretty
this.
cool.
Yeah. So I think sometimes people are surprised, or they're like, wait, you're going to pay for my whole vacation and I don't have to pay anything? And then, the surprise is usually when I show up, I'm giving them additional fun money for gas or car snacks or the trip or whatever.
You're living the dream.
Oh, yeah. I tell myself that every day.
I mean,
You're so funny.
yeah, just to get to see people like in that moment. I mean, in the toughest time,
Yeah.
right? To be able to like, because I just thought of something like with the money, right? And it's not, it's often, more often than not, almost always, that's not what it's about with these recipients, right? And
Right.
so, although they may be able to afford it, they just probably don't want to or haven't thought that they could, or
That's a good point.
You know.
We do not have any parameters as far as income levels, and that is not anything that we even ask questions about. That's not even any of the concern.
yeah,
So there are,
I mean, the cancer doesn't care.
it doesn't care, neither do we.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And you bring up a good point. We are a breast cancer foundation, but we have expanded that because of the same
okay.
thing you just said. So
Yeah.
that's an awareness piece.
So it
as
doesn't
well.
necessarily have to be breast cancer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Than others. Yeah.
You said this year is just really busy.
Yes. So last year I delivered a gift of fun to a gal who works at a law office in downtown Columbus. And she was talking to the gals in the office and like, can you believe this? Like, I have this spa. I'm going to make my husband go with me and get his toes done.
Yeah.
She's just really blowing it up. She was so happy.
Yeah.
And one of the other gals in the office said, well, don't we have that, like, that fund, that foundation money that we just got with that one family, and they want to do some giving and they want it to be for something good in the Columbus area? Wouldn't that match up? And so all of a sudden it's like, oh, do you want to apply for, I get an email, do you want to apply for this grant? Grant? I'm like, wow, that's, do I look like a grant writer to you, Justin? So with the help of
Ted, I need help writing this
exactly,
grant.
yeah, he's an attorney. With the help of my executive director, Gina, who works in the Cincinnati office. And again, you know, it's easy to curate in your own community, right? So she's
Yeah.
doing a lot of curation and connection in Cincinnati. But here's me in Columbus, hi, you know, trying to figure these things out. So she's been great, and we've been working together. And so I've learned so much about grant writing and how to apply for a grant and, you know, what families are looking for. And so it was a perfect match. The family was thrilled about the idea.
Wow.
So that was the first grant I received. Wait for it. So we decide, well, that's fun. Let's kind of put the word out that people are generous and kind, and we'll just take a little bit of the grant money and we'll get the recipient list out and say, come celebrate. Like, we have more money for giving.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know more friends still? Do you know what's going on? Know what's new with you? So we had the party. Nia came to the party. It was great.
Great.
And there I met a friend of a friend who works at Zangmeister. Next thing I know, I'm over at Zangmeister, and they're like, oh, we'll give you money for that. And a check. And I'm like, did that just happen? So second
Wow.
fund. And then one of the gals also at the party, a community gal from New Albany. I don't want to say her name in case her battle is public, but she just went through a whole full year plus of diagnosis, treatment, and recovery. She said, hey, you know what? I would love to do a fundraiser at my house, and I would love to have you come, and I would love to have you meet the people, you know, in my community. And that created another $6,000 of fun money. So
That's great.
just call it our fun money.
Fun money.
Yeah,
I like
it's just
it.
fun money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From the fund.
From the fund. Yes, exactly.
So you're getting grant money. You're, obviously fundraising events.
Yes. And then she also is somebody who's been in the community for a long time and worked in philanthropy. And she said, have you ever talked to Craig Moore and the New Albany Community Foundation about this?
Yeah.
And I went and I did, and we got another grant.
Nice. Good.
So it's just been making
Yeah.
it rain.
Yeah. As it should.
Well, you know what?
As it
All the money
should.
goes to the recipient, so why wouldn't we be happy about that?
Yeah.
We should be happy about that.
Yeah.
you know?
So the Columbus chapter,
Yes, and it's staying here locally.
yes.
Yes.
Well, that's what I was going to ask.
Yes.
So anybody within the Columbus metro area, anybody within like,
I've done deliveries as far as Delaware County.
Okay.
So the New Albany Community Foundation Fund, one of the requirements is to keep it in the New Albany and New Albany school area.
okay.
So anybody in the New Albany schools, I think it's maybe 4 or 5 zip codes included in that area.
Yeah.
they're eligible for gifts of fun with that kind of
That's awesome.
constituent. Well, here's the other thing that's even more awesome. Every year, Karen was born on April 1st, April Fool's Day. And so every year in April, we throw a huge gala, and that's where we really raise the majority of everybody comes out to party. I mean, if I tell you we have 700 to 1,000 people, we usually go to the Hard Rock Casino down in Cincinnati.
Oh, wow.
And get dressed up. And this year's theme was icons. And so, of course, here's Karen, on the big screen as the ultimate icon. And then, I mean, we had people dressed up as everything. So
that's really cool.
Yeah, we had like a lot of fun. And that's usually those ticket prices help drive.
Yeah.
We drive all that money back into the foundation.
That's great. And so everybody that wants to attend the gala next year, website, I'm sure we can find it all, social media.
Yeah.
I'm there.
They can. Awesome. I can't wait. You will not be disappointed, my friend.
I might make a fool of myself. But...
Hey, you'll be in good company. You'll know the other fools.
Perfect.
Oh, I know what story I wanted to tell you. So when you mentioned skiing, so there's this gal who's nominated again, somebody, who is a stranger, somebody I don't know. I see the name, and I look at the nomination form, and I see that she works at L Brands, and at the time my husband was working there. And I said, do you know this person? He said, no, I don't think I do. So next thing you know, Pelotonia's coming up. I'm riding Pelotonia. I go through, as you're getting up towards Kenyon, when you're doing the 100-mile route.
Oh, yeah.
This family, which I did not know, the connection, has a water stop on the way to Kenyon.
Wow. And
every year they're out there. And it might have been one of my first years doing the 100. This was quite a few years ago. And I stopped, and I saw the sister sitting on the steps with a typical scarf in the shade, not in the sun, not handing out the waters. And I said to the other sister giving out the water, I was kind of like, hey, I said, it doesn't want to sound like a weird question. I said, is she doing okay? And then she said, oh, yeah, that's my sister. She's fighting really hard. She's in treatment, and this is why we do this. And, she loves the riders every year. It gives her hope. She loves that you guys show up and are raising all this, money. I said, okay, thank you. I said, well, do you have a pen or a paper? I said, write down Karen Wellington Foundation. Please nominate her for something.
Oh, wow.
So this comes through. I don't even make the connection. Because I didn't know her name. We never met.
You were just riding.
I was just riding.
Yeah.
So I had to keep going. It's like 20 more miles.
Yeah.
It's torture. So it's fine.
You're 80 miles in.
Exactly. I'm like, thank you
But this
for
is
the
what
water.
you're thinking about, though.
Right. This is what I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
I was like, let's do this. So her nomination comes in. She gets nominated. She and her husband had gone to Kenyon. I'll connect the dots here for you. They got to Kenyon College. They met, fell in love, got married. He's from Africa. She's here locally in this little town near Kenyon. All we have on the vacation list are these ski vacations. He's from Africa. He's like, skiing? Like, I've never skied. I hope I don't go break my leg. What's going on? We sent them they sent us pictures of them laying in the snow in 15 different directions. Like they laughed the entire time. They said it pushed them out of their comfort zone. They never had so much fun. It was an incredible trip for them. The following year, Kent and my husband Ted are riding because I think it was my 10-year survivor year. So I'm off with my girls. Like, bye, babe.
Have fun.
At the start, yeah. And the two of them, behind, they stop at the same rest stop, not even knowing.
Wow. And so at this time, you don't even know that they were a recipient, or at this time, now you know that they were a recipient, right?
I didn't know where they lived. I never connected the dots
I
until
see.
Kent shows up the following year, and they're standing there, and they say something about he's wearing something, and he said, I went to Kenyon. Kent went to Kenyon.
Wow.
So his undergrad was Kenyon, and he went to Ohio State. And he said, Kent Wellington. They were like, oh, you're Kent Wellington. And then they told him the story about their vacation and how much they appreciated the foundation. And so they were able to, first connection,
That's incredible.
just kind of like, thank him. But it happens like that if I tell you, like almost every single time.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
I bet.
It's just been
I mean,
incredible
it's
people.
hard to meet somebody that isn't affected in some way,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Which is
Yes.
unfortunate, but
It is unfortunate. And, I kind of, I think it's hard for me because I feel like when I was a kid, I only knew two people, like my Uncle Charlie and then my neighbor, my mom's best friend, who was also named Irene, who had cancer. And she's the first person I ever saw to lose hair. And, like her husband was like, we need to find out where to get pot because she's really sick. Like, we were like, what? Like, there's just like the whole, like your world expands and shrinks when there's cancer, right? It pushes you to doing things or thinking about things you probably would never have to think about on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And so I think it's just interesting too. And it creates this sense of empathy of like, when things are like, when we always say to our kids, right? Like, we really should just focus on the things we can control. We were like, how do we control this, right?
Yeah.
You're kind of leaning into I have to have faith. You have to have faith.
Yep.
And you have to have faith in caregivers and people who are going to support you. And it's okay to ask for help.
For sure.
Yeah.
Especially with kids.
Yeah.
Like, I can't imagine trying to explain to my kid. I can't explain anything to him, really. So
another nomination I'll never forget, there was a young gal. She was in her 30s, late 30s. Her mom was an exec at the company where my husband worked. And somebody came to my husband because with the attorney world, sometimes attorneys, they'll have access to like different tickets at like the SHOT or whatever because they're representing different clients, that kind of thing. And they're like, hey, Ted, do we have tickets for Disney on Ice? Because there's this gal that worked, the mom worked for the exec.
Yeah.
Her daughter and her granddaughter just want to go see Disney on Ice. The granddaughter, who's like 4, is obsessed with the Disney princesses.
Yeah. Who doesn't want to go to Disney on Ice?
I mean, I do. So Ted's like, let me get back to you. He's asking around. Then he goes, you know what? I think we can do one better for you. So we nominate her, and we take the entire family to Disney.
That's awesome.
We just did the royal princess treatment. I mean, I'm pretty sure.
Let's just go right to the source.
I just blew the budget that year, but it was fine. So, and unfortunately, it was the last vacation for that family. 30-some% of our vacations are last vacations.
Ugh.
So it's like, what memories do we want to have, right? We want to have the memory of seeing mom laughing and enjoying our time together and putting on makeup and dressing up as a princess, or,
Yeah.
right?
Wow.
So, we're trying to flip the switch. We call ourselves the Anti-Cancer Foundation.
I read that.
You like that?
I do like that. Because I was trying to think, like, how do I introduce this?
Yes.
And then I didn't have to because we just started talking, but I was like, and I saw that. I was like, that's really cool.
Right, yeah.
That's awesome. Do you mind sharing kind of your story, your battle with cancer?
No, thank you. My awareness, again, should have been heightened, right? Because of things that I saw when I was younger and experienced with cancer, but didn't really connect the dots when you're a mom and you've got young kids and you're busy and you're focusing on all these things. Your husband's working hard and you're just trying to balance everything. And I literally had my 8 and my 6-year-old and my little guy, and he was obsessed with a mole on my back. And he just kept saying, Mommy, marker, and trying to pick it off my back.
Oh, wow.
And I realized at 40-some years old, like, I do my pap and my mammogram every year, but I never had my skin checked.
Yeah.
So I was like, at a baseline, I should just go and at least introduce myself and get a dermatologist, right? Now's a good time to start. I grew up on Long Island. I was in the sun. Back in the day, we didn't wear sunscreen, dude. So, we had babies, baby oil and iodine.
Yeah.
We're living our best lives.
Yeah.
So I go to the dermatologist, and I remember Michael sitting on my lap while they're doing the procedure. Like, what am I doing with my baby, right? I'm at home with my kids. I'm holding my baby. They're taking this tumor off my back. I didn't know at the time. And come to the, they're not calling me back. They're not calling me back. They're not calling me back. I call the doctor's office, and I'm like, I haven't heard anything. And the assistant gets on and says, you know what, that's going to take another week or two. We sent it to Sloan Kettering in New York.
Oh, wow.
I called my husband at work, and I said, I have cancer.
Yeah.
And he's like, what? And I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure it's not great. So a month later, I'm at the James, and
Wow.
they do a test where they inject your original tumor site. And that was a stage 3, almost stage 4, was traveling, was in my neck.
Oh,
and
my
I
goodness.
had another tumor under my left arm. So it was already gone into my lymph system. Within a year, I'd have been gone, is what my dermatologist told me. They call them terrace moles. They never change on the surface. It didn't really look like anything to me. So the skin, being your largest living organ, loves to grow and change. So, yeah, they took 3 tumors in 1 surgery, and then I was cancer-free.
How long ago was this?
16 years.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
lucky.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish that could be everyone's like little, oh, this isn't going well. Like, oh, now it's going a little better. Now you think you can exhale, right?
Yeah.
But it's funny because even like my mom had breast cancer, and then unfortunately she passed last year, pancreatic. But you know, you always think when your body has the capability to produce something like that, you always have that awareness of like when there's a tweak or an injury or something, right? Your immediate thought goes to that concern. But you know what? Karen taught me we can't live that way, right? It's just like we have all the moments here now. And that's what we have to lean into, right? We can't get them back. So,
yeah, I mean, you after that experience, you definitely have a unique perspective on life.
Oh, thanks.
I mean, how would you not?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it was almost became like a comedy, almost like it's not like with my kids, you know, because my little one was like, "Mommy, you have a big boo boo on your back." You know, it's a big tumor, right? So it's like you know, we'd go to the pool or something. He'd be like, "You put a little towel on it." I'm like, "We're in the water." She's like, "That doesn't look good." I'm like, "I'll get some Band-Aids.
Yeah,
it'll be
don't
fine."
worry.
Right. But you know, again, you know, some people are living this as the normal part of their life, right?
Yeah.
It's like everybody has challenges. We don't know what they are. We don't know when they're coming. We don't know what they're going to be. But it's the way we face them and move through them that we get to the next point of our life. And it does make us more empathetic and caring about, you know, people who are going through tough things. And I'm just happy I'm able to show up. I'm happy I'm able to honor my friend. She has a beautiful family that she left behind. Her son, Robbie, and her daughter, Angeline, have been part of the foundation all along, and just incredible kids.
Robbie, Angeline. And do they live in Cincinnati? Nice.
So, Robbie recently, he and his girlfriend Ellie, they moved out west to Colorado because she's becoming a doctor.
Oh wow!
So he's been following her career, but he works remotely with Macy's, and he did the car program. They both went to UC. They're just really ingrained in that community, and they've shown up for that community in so many different ways.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah, Angeline had. Go ahead. You were going.
I was just going to say, and her husband still lives in Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, still in Cincinnati. So.
You were going to show me a picture like 20 minutes ago, and I don't know.
No,
what
I
happened.
know. This is what I was going to do. I have my glasses, so I don't do this justice. So, like I said, her daughter Angeline is what I would call almost like that spitting image of her mom, you know, in spirit and in person. And again, losing your mom at such a tender age, it's hard to kind of come back from that. So she worked with the foundation for a long time, and then when she was getting ready to leave last year, she wrote this thank you team note. So I'll let you take a look at that. I can't find my...
All right, so this is from Angeline
Wellington, yes.
And she's thanking...
She is thanking the team of Karen Wellington Foundation, individuals, myself, and others who are doing the work that her mom would have loved.
Is this going to make me choke up?
Maybe. You read it.
Hello, everyone. As the holidays reigned supreme, the new year came quickly. I was thrown into a mountain of New York, and I'm just now getting some space to tie up final loose ends and fully transition out. I will be stopping by the office this week. I have letters for each of you. But up top, I wanted to express how grateful I am for this team. I started working with the Karen Wellington Foundation right out of college, and why that may seem like an obvious choice, that wasn't always the case. Once COVID came into the picture, I was at a crossroads regarding what to do. We had teams transitioning, brands changing, and a whole host of other things to figure out. To put it simply, I've learned so much in these past 6 years, and that growth wouldn't have been possible without each of you. I find myself sounding like Katie. I say consumer journey 5 times a week. I assume that's something she said. Yes. Hoping to be as bold as Lori and as productive as Emily on a daily basis. I could go into great detail on how each of you have truly impacted my life in a myriad of ways, but I'm sure I'll get to share that with you all in the years to come. My mom would have effing loved this team. She didn't say effing. She put the word out there. Creative, smart, irreverent, bold, and consistently growing and open to change. I'm very aware that at times I've seen my mom's life rose-colored glasses. I believe the best parts of her are laced through this mission, a mission that thrives because of this team. At her core, my mom was kind, something I firmly believe she learned on her own at a young age. And in tandem with that kindness came a deep calling to impact the lives of strangers. Robbie and I saw this up close on a daily basis, mostly because we had to attend mandatory errands, Starbucks, Tuesday morning, Home Goods, etc. I watched the joy it brought to her. It brought her to go above and beyond for people and the joy it evoked in those who we just met. She wanted nothing in return, and I think that's why the Karen Wellington Foundation works, a cycle of kindness that does not require any sort of return on our investment. I'll leave you with a metaphor that my mom and dad have both shared with me throughout my life in their own ways. While I treasure many things of my mom's, her journals, her paintings, and so much more, the one thing I hold most dearly is her dining room table. Many moons ago, she bought a table with leaves that can be added or removed to make it longer. I'm sure she never imagined that when she was gone, her daughter would turn this table into a metaphor. But that's exactly what happened. My mom was the person who always made room for others. If there was enough space, she'd add another leaf and expand the table, always welcoming more. And the table wasn't a sharp-edged rectangle, but an oval, where every seat fit effortlessly, no matter how many were added. And on the off chance the table ran out of room, my dad always had that shitty little card table. Robbie knows the one. He'd bring it up from the basement, ruining my mom's aesthetic, of course, but making room nonetheless. That's my vision for KWF, a place where everyone feels welcome, they know they belong, and everyone has a seat at the table. Easier said than done, but that's the essence of the mission, a mission that continues to grow because each of you show up and pour into it in your own unique ways. Thank you for an amazing 6 years. I'm so excited to see this team expand and grow, and I'm incredibly excited to come back in a myriad of ways later this year. Love you all. Wow. Man, that's awesome.
She's a fabulous young
Yeah.
lady, just like her mama.
Whew.
Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible. I'm sure everybody really enjoyed hearing that.
Thanks.
Yeah. That's great.
She's a great writer. She's doing PR and marketing now, and she's spreading her wings.
Yeah, yeah, that is written really well. I butchered some of it.
No,
but
you should go on follow her website. She loves all things about travel and just kind of, she's just very much no time. Like, let's go do this, let's go do that. Just make it happen.
Constantly moving.
Yeah, constantly living the width of her life.
Yeah.
Yes.
Man, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Shitty old table.
You love it.
I love that metaphor. That's really good. Because as I'm reading that, I'm picturing our kitchen table and just as our family's grown and we're that anybody's welcome anytime. We're always the one that hosts, and it's everybody come on over.
Come on in. Pull up a chair.
Yeah,
Have a folding chair down there.
After all the kids we've had, I don't know if I have any leaves left to put in the table.
You might need a second table.
That's right. You'll find a crappy old one in the basement.
The other thing I think that Karen did that really impacted me for years to come, she took those 10 years to write letters to her kids in the future.
Oh, wow.
So she had a whole box of letters, one for Angeline, one for Robbie, and one for Kent. Kent did a TED Talk during COVID when he opened his last letter from Karen.
Oh, my
I'll
goodness.
send you the link on that.
Yeah.
That's a good one. But it was like that gift of the future. You open this one when you learn to drive. You open this one when you graduate high school. You open this one when you... So she knew she wasn't going to be there. And she didn't tell anyone that she had left them or written them. Angeline found them downstairs in the basement. In
Oh, my
boxes.
goodness. Wow.
So,
Well, I knew Karen had to be a pretty incredible person, especially somebody that if you were that close with her, I had a good feeling about it. So, yeah, that's a great way to wrap up. I don't know if we're going to beat that.
I don't think so either.
Well, I thank you so much. Anything that I can do to help spread the word and share, like as events come up, and if we can do anything, let us know.
Thank you.
If people want to give, what do you need? How do they do it?
So everything, I'll leave you with some nomination cards. I have a nomination QR code right on here with this. If you want to help someone living with breast cancer, I'm trying to get this translated into Spanish, and I want to collaborate with, I've already tried to collaborate with Healthy New Albany. And
Oh, nice.
Pamela Kahn's been very supportive and said, let's get this in Spanish, let's get it over to the food pantry.
Yes.
So again, we're very authentic and genuine, and you tell your friend and your friend's going to tell this friend, and hopefully we don't have a lot of people who will need this, but when they do, we're going to be there to show up for them.
Yeah.
So there's nominating, again, the volunteering part. It's so funny. I've told my husband, I think I've done every single delivery, which is great because the women I meet are incredible and their stories are amazing, and hard and difficult, but just that the resilience that you learn from other people and how they make things work in their life is quite a life lesson itself. But they go on usually to nominate somebody else.
Yeah.
So like I said, it just kind of goes, that's kind of how it does. We're not looking for we want 100 people to, what I'm saying?
Yeah, it seems like just finding these people, right? Mm-hmm. And they're not hard to find, but connecting them with the foundation seems like what is the best way to get the word out.
We get this weekly report, and again, because I ride with the cycling peloton, the shout out to Girls with Gears, here locally in New Albany, that we are doing the fundraising on the cancer research side. It's kind of whether we're raising funds, it's I say to my kids, we can do two things at the same time. We can raise funds for cancer research and try to get rid of cancers that we can eliminate, and we can put fun on our calendar.
Yeah.
Do both, right?
Absolutely.
So that's what we're trying to do. That's our mission.
It's fantastic.
Thank you.
I am certain that it's funny. My wife doesn't listen to a lot of these. Sometimes she does, but she'll want me to be all right, how was it? Right. And she's like, did you ask this? Did you ask this? Did you ask this? And I'm like, no, I'm not I don't. So, I just ask for anybody that listens to this, if they have additional questions, if they have feedback, if they have, we'll put this stuff on social, we'll put it out there. So I hope we get some engagement. I think we will.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate you
Irene,
so much.
thanks so much.
Thank you.
We'll talk to you soon. We'll
Okay.
do it again.
All right, sounds great.
Thanks. Be sure to follow us on social media for news, updates, everything that's happening in New Albany. You can visit whitefencelivingpodcast.com. Look forward to seeing you on the next episode of White Fence Living.
What I love about New Albany is the holiday tree lighting.
I love the Heights Center.
The walkability and convenience.
My favorite part of New Albany is you.